Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Sales Mastery training here on Wednesday afternoon with Finline Financial. My name is Mario Delgadillo, and today what we're going to do is we're going to have a locker room talk about different ways or the 6 questions to make sales simple. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question, right? So type in a number one and be brutally honest, okay? Type in a number one if you think sales is simple, or type in a number two if you think sales is difficult. Go ahead and do that in the chat. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Maritza says number one. Well done. A lot of number ones. Number one and number two. Okay, I feel you. Okay, and number two. Okay. So Myra said number two, and then Sharina was like, okay, I think number two as well, right? Well, listen, the easy answer is this. If you guys all think sales is simple, then why aren't you producing more? Training over. Let's see you guys later. No, just kidding. Listen, sales is actually very simple, okay? But it's an art. It's a skill. It's something that you've got to practice at, and it takes time and it takes repetition, right? So I want to talk to you about 6 questions that will help you to simplify your sales process, and this will scale your business and help you get off to a fast start. So being in sales as long as I have, I realized that there's 2 types of agents, okay? You have elite agents, and then you kind of have everyone else. And the difference between those that are elite agents and everyone else is they know how to connect with their client on a completely different level. So the question then is, well, how do you bridge that gap? How do I go from being everyone else to being elite, right? And so these will teach you, okay? I thought about this and I was like, man, this is so profound. These questions will teach you how to not pay attention to yourself, but to pay attention to your client's needs. Guys, one of the main reasons why we struggle, if we're being honest, really in life, is because everything we do stems from a selfish ambition, right? Husband or your significant other, spouse says, hey, babe, what do you want to eat tonight? Right? I don't care. Okay, what about this? No. Or I don't want to do that. Why not? Oh, because and it's funny because this is one of the things that I'm actually struggling with most with our children. So I still have 4 kids under my household. My 18-year-old, who's salt of the earth, she can do no wrong. The rest of the 3, though, they're whoa, right? So my 12-year-old girl, my 11-year-old son, and my 8-year-old son. Every single fight that happens in this household happens because somebody is fighting for their will, for their intentions, for what they want. Everything is selfish, right? And so the same thing happens when you're in a sales call. Our desires, our ambitions, our will to close a sale gets in the way of what really matters to the client, right? And so let me tell you guys, this is a common fallacy. If you get them the information, then they will make an informed decision. We know that that's not true. How many of you guys have given all the goods, like A to Z, like you taught a master flip-in class on annuities or on mortgage protection or on participating whole life, and they say to you, well, I think I've got to think about this. What? Like, come on. Like, I gave you all of the information. So here's what we know. When you do that, when you give all the information and you're banking on them making an informed decision, what you're doing is telling. And we know that telling does not lead to selling. Telling is not selling. So if telling is not selling, then how do we bridge that gap like the elite agents do? Make that connection, and it's real simple. There's 6 questions that we have to ask, right? And they revolve around something you've probably heard before. Who, what, when, where, why, and how, okay? And so doing this will simplify your sales, Because guys, I think we overcomplicate it way too much, right? Again, I had a conversation with a gal recently, and she couldn't understand how I told her, like, dude, like, pretty much every single conversation I have with a client sounds exactly the same. What? Yeah, right? Because there's a format, there's a structure, there's a framework. Now, that doesn't mean the outcome is the same, but the actual conversation is the same. Case in point, yesterday, the boys, my two sons, were going to get their back to school haircuts, right? And I fumbled the ball. I had haircuts scheduled at 7, but I didn't put it on my darn calendar. And I'm on the phone 2 days ago, and I'm like, sure, yeah, 7 o'clock works just fine. So I put a financial needs assessment call at 7 o'clock on Monday. Tuesday morning, I get a text from the barber that says, hey, looking forward to haircuts for Levi and Gabriel at 7. And I'm like, son of a crap, right? So do I reschedule? No, right? I get there 5 minutes early so I can explain to the barber what they need. I literally have one notepad, a paper, a pen, and my headphones. Because every single conversation sounds the same, I didn't need to be in front of a computer. I just needed a quiet place. I sat in the little lobby area there at the salon, did the F&A in 20 minutes, scheduled the appointment on my cell phone, done deal, right? So the key when asking these questions is twofold. Number one is simplify the process, okay? Number two is this also intentionally puts our focus on the clients, okay? So the secret to sales is asking questions. I think so many times people think that the key to sales or being good in sales is being a good talker. And it's actually the opposite. It's the person who listens the best and then asks the appropriate questions. Doesn't mean you have to ask 1,000 questions. It means ask the appropriate questions. So here's how we do it. So generally speaking, again, you could be selling term, which is mortgage protection. You could be selling participating whole life. Here's the deal. Who, right, is the first one. Who are you trying to protect, right? And lead them. Is this to protect your family, your children, your parents, right? Your estate, right? Yourself? Like, ask that question, who, right? Very important. Next one is why. Why is this important to you? Now, guys, fight the urge to think, oh, well, this is obvious. We know who it's to help, right? It's to help protect the family. But no, when you ask them to verbalize, why is this important? What it does is it backs up and it affirms what they already know. Because, guys, there's certain times where just getting somebody to say it out loud is powerful. Because there's certain things that we think in here, but once we say it out loud, once we verbalize it, there's power that comes along behind that. So first is, who are you trying to protect? The second is, why is that important to you? Okay, because getting somebody to verbalize it makes them really face it, and it backs up and affirms what they already know. Number three is, this is important, where's your family going to go live, right? Where would this put you? Where would this put your loved ones in a situation where if you were to pass away, right? If you were to die, right? I think these are important questions. Again, I don't care if you're doing participating whole life. There's still a death benefit component, and there still is a death component. If you have participating whole life or a term policy, you're still going to die. Where does this leave your family? Does your wife have to go find a new house to live in, right? Are your children going to get not only lose their dad, but have to get uprooted from their home? Okay, so where is this going to put your family? Where are they going to live? Can they even stay in their own home, right? The other is, what happens if? So we talked about who, why, where. Now it's what. What happens if you don't do this? What happens if you lose your job? What happens if you pass away, get hurt, become disabled, right? In my line of work, right? In my niche of this market, what happens if President Trump wins? What happens if he loses? What happens if Kamala Harris wins, right? These are questions that I get them to, to try to start wrapping their mind around. The next is when. When is the best time to get protected? When is the best time to start saving for retirement? Everyone is going to say now, right? Well, now it is. There's never a better time than now, right? Again, there's power in getting somebody to verbalize this. Now, when you ask these questions, though, guys, or when you formulate a question that revolves around the who, the why, the where, the what, the when, because depending on what particular product you sell, the who, the why, the where, the what, the when, they will be postured or articulated in just little different variations. When you ask the questions, don't be afraid to just shut up. I heard it said that when you ask a question to a client or a potential client, the first one to talk loses. I've sat there before and I'm like, so, you ready to get started? And I just sit there. And it's so awkward. And then they're like, sure, cool. How do you spell your last name? And we just go right at it, right? But it's that awkward silence that salespeople hate. But it's the silence that will get them to make an actual choice or an actual decision, right? So when is the best time to get you protected? When is the best time to start saving for retirement? When is the best time to protect your money? Okay, no better time than now. Okay, now the last one is this. How is it going to make you feel? I think, guys, this is such an incredible part of the conversation. How is this going to make you feel knowing that if you close your eyes tonight and never wake up, that your family is completely taken care of and protected? That if you close your eyes tonight and do not wake up, that your money is not going to get killed in taxes because it's protected properly, right? How is it going to make you feel? You see, what these questions do, guys, is they get us to stop being an agent and start being more of a person, right? Yeah, I'm an agent, but I'm also a son, right? I have parents, and I would want them to be treated with the same type of respect and care and honesty that I give to other people. I'm an agent, but I'm also a husband. I would want somebody to not try to take advantage of my wife if I were to pass away, right? I'm also, a father. So you have to be able to take yourself out of that place when you need to, okay? And then put yourself in a position where you're an actual person. So that said, keeping in mind these 6 questions to make things simpler, right? I'm going to tell you that there are 5 reasons why people won't buy, okay? Hold on one second. Okay. So there's 5 reasons why people won't buy, okay? Number 1, okay, is no trust. Now, if I ask these questions to that person, do you think that it will start to build some trust? Yes, because I'm not talking about features and benefits. I'm asking them questions about themselves. Number 2, 5 reasons people won't buy is they don't have a need. Well, we already know they have a need because they don't have any insurance, right? They don't have a way to protect their money from loss. They don't have a way to build tax-free income, right? Third is they don't feel that they want it, right? But when we ask them, how does it make you feel, right? Where are your family going to live, right? All of these questions, what's it going to feel like if the market tanks and you lose X amount of money, right? No urgency. So 5 reasons people don't buy: no trust, no need, no want, no urgency. And that's our fault. we have to help them to see the urgency. And number 5 is no money, right? They say, well, I can't afford it, right? So with that being said, we connect those 5 needs, the 6 questions that we ask, okay, to this. There are three needs that people have in life, right? They have external needs, they have internal needs, and then they have like psychological, or excuse me, philosophical needs or philosophical problems that they have to solve. So when somebody is asking a question, or they're looking to make a decision, they have external, right, needs that they have to satisfy, right? Well, externally, I know that I saw these ads online, and man, it got me thinking, like, yeah, I don't have anything. So those external reasons. Maybe I don't like the fact that my parents know that my house isn't paid off, or maybe my best friend is doing this, and so there's external reasons, right? Then there's the internal ones. This is how things make me feel. Guys, we buy clothes based on the way they make us feel, right? We buy cars based on the way it makes us feel. We buy presents for our kids because we like to watch them open them, right? It's the reaction that we're after. So external reasons why people want to buy, okay? External reasons why people want to buy are very like superficial, if you will. Oh, well, my friends are doing it, so I should do it. But internal reasons, like, yeah, as a husband, I toss and turn all night long because I feel like if something happened to me, I'd not be able to take care of my kids. That's an internal reason that we have to get to. And then the last is like a philosophical. That's where like we're battling between good and evil, right? Right and wrong. Should I do this moral? Is this moral? Is this immoral? Right? And that really doesn't always come to play in our kind of realm. But yeah, I think we can understand that at times, yeah, there is a philosophical truth or a need that we have to help them to understand. Is it right or wrong, good and bad, for us to make sure that you have something in place to take care of your finances, your home, your family, right? To be wise when it comes to investing? Yes, of course, right? So, but the problem is that most agents just try and sell to the external need, which is the superficial one. So we want you to start asking these 6 questions so that you can dig deep into the internal part of somebody's decision-making process, because that's where they actually start to make decision making or buying thought processes, right? So final thing we'll cover is this, guys. There's 5 fundamentals to selling, okay? The first is transferring belief, right? And a belief that we must have is that insurance is a must. You have to have something in place to protect your family. 7702A is a must, okay? You have to have something in your portfolio that flexes that muscle, okay? The second fundamental of selling is trust, building trust. The only way to build trust is with empathy. The only way to get empathy or be empathetic is to ask questions. Another way to build trust is to show authority. We talk about posture all the time, okay? Posture means what? How I show up, the confidence that I have. That's number 2. Number 3 is address the stakes. What's at stake if you don't do this? If you don't move your money, okay, you could lose it. If you die with your money in this particular place, it's going to be subject to all kinds of taxes or probate, right? There's fees. Or if you were to keep your money where it's at now, you're not going to be able to get any dividends. You're not going to be able to borrow it or use it. So there are stakes. There are consequences for their actions or consequences for no action. And then finally, 2 more is present the options. Okay. So once you've addressed what's at stake, you've transferred the belief, you've built trust, present some options, right? So these are the different options, and here's my solution, which is number 5. Present options is number 4. Number 5 is provide the solution. Guys, people are looking for you to be the one with the answers, okay? Provide solution, okay? So our job is to get a No objection close. Guys, if you grab this, you're going to make a ton of money. Our job is to get a no objection close. It's like looking at someone at the end of this presentation and you know that they know that they should do it. There's like, I'm not even going to ask you because you're dumb if you don't do this. Like, we both know you're dumb if you don't do this, right? It's like the only obvious answer is to do the deal, right? So how do we get there? Structure in your process gives you confidence. Confidence gives you the ability to move forward. Confidence and repetition creates competence. Competence makes you a professional. And when you're a professional, you accelerate your sales, your income, and your lifestyle. Okay. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm hoping you guys grab some nuggets out of here. I ate this up when I was reviewing this morning. I was just like, man, this is incredible, because I'm that guy. That's how my mind works. My mind works by give me some fundamentals, give me a structure, give me a playbook, give me a roadmap. I will stay within that framework. I will stay within that roadmap. But while I'm in that structure, while I'm inside of that framework, I'm going to have a lot of freedom to be me, to let all of the skill sets, all of the nuances that make you shine, but make them shine within the framework, because the framework works, right? Systems work, structure works. And so that's how you guys are going to be successful. So let me go ahead and